Welcome people, it's your boy Profection back again for another video. This is a cold facts video. Okay, we're gonna be honest in this video. We're gonna be very honest. Basically yesterday a close family member of mine came round, and indirectly they were saying things that kind of seemed as though they'd watched a few videos of mine basically, and maybe they felt that maybe it touched a few nerves. Maybe it felt that it was a personal attack at them. You know, I've always been in a situation when I say things, sometimes it can be, you know, controversial. It's always touched a nerve on some people. Some people have misconstrued some of the things that I've said. Some people, it's no, you know, it hasn't been misconstrued. It has affected them. It has been things that they've done, and it's touched a few nerves. So what we're going to do is we're going to address some of the things that was said, because I think it was good for me to hear an outsider's point of view on some of the things that I was saying. It was good. It's good to get feedback basically, and it's good to hear their point of view. I think that in future, I think if anyone out there in future basically disagrees with some of the things that I say, then you're more than welcome to come here. We'll sit down. We'll put it on camera, and we'll have an honest debate about it. We'll have an honest debate, you know. Right, let me adjust this chair. Right, there we go. Right, we'll have an honest debate about whatever subject it is, you know. But that's if you feel confident in getting in front of a camera and doing those kind of things, you know, because what I say, I'm 100% confident about. But we're going to clear up a few things. One thing to take note of, guys, is that, remember, when I do these things, there's no editing, so thoughts are just flying off. You know, like the sellout video, for example, was a large video. I had a lot to say on that video, and in the beginning it should have started off a certain way, and I lost my chain of thought, and it was like, what am I saying this for, and what am I saying that for, and it kind of all got jumbled up, you know, because these videos are like I said, they're on the go. So it's, you try doing a video on the go and you've got so much to say and you haven't written it down, there's no paper in front of you, it's not scripted, it's real, 100% real, there's nothing fake about it, and it's not scripted, and you're trying to memorize everything. Sometimes things get jumbled up and then you think to yourself, oh damn, that came out wrong. But I didn't want to spend too long doing multiple takes on the video, you know. I just wanted to kind of get it out of the way. But let's get stuck into a few things. So the first thing I want to say is this, is that something was said yesterday, for example, like the house nigger and the barn nigger. I don't really want to use those terms, but let's you know, this is a cold facts video, so we're going to go there with it. Right, I think people sometimes, when they use that term, they misinterpret what a house nigger is and what the barn nigger is, okay, or the was it the field nigger or the farm nigger? Right, so the house nigger, if we remember back in the days, back in most of the slave movies that I've watched, a house nigger is basically someone that didn't really care about his own people. Yeah, let's get straight to the point. Didn't care about black people. Basically saw himself as white. Okay, the massa would basically treat this person like a slave, because the person literally was a slave. So he would talk down to the person. Sometimes they were respected. Sometimes they were given, you know, a small ounce of decency or of respect from their masters, and this went to their head. They somehow felt, because they were inside of the house and they were given a slightly bigger role, that they were somehow better than their brothers in the field, slaving away, killing themselves, working hard, you know, trying to fight for freedom. They somehow felt they were better, somehow felt that they weren't even a part of that these people were beneath them. They now saw themselves as the massa saw them. They now saw the field niggers as the massa saw them, basically. That is a house nigger. Okay, someone that was strictly for himself, someone that would sell out his people at the drop of a dime. That was a house nigger. Okay, so let's clear that up. The field nigger, barn nigger, whatever you want to describe it, was someone out there fighting for his freedom, you know, fighting for equal rights. Some of them would die for what they believed in. You know, they definitely died as a unit, as a community. You know, so when you're throwing terms like that out there, understand what the actual house nigger, barn nigger thing means. You know, me myself personally, there's no way I'm a house nigger. It wouldn't even make sense. However, I'm definitely educated. I think if that upsets people, then I can understand where you're coming from. I'm educated, or shall I say, I'm not going to brag and boast and say I'm educated. I say that I'm just well spoken. I won't even say educated, because I've been in rooms around even certain Caucasian people, and it's like, oh look, you're educated or this or that, and I make it clear to them what I am is well spoken. I've never come into a room and claimed because of the way I talk to be better than anyone. You know, I've never claimed that way. I've always been well spoken. I've been well spoken since I was young. You know, when I was 14, I was well spoken. 15, 16. This is just how I talk. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of it, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I've never walked into a room around people that were, and I've said this in my videos, you know, so I don't know how people kind of can get it wrong, kind of thing. I've said in my videos that what you need to do around people that may be less intelligent is sit down, talk with them, and treat them right. Don't belittle them, you know. Which kind of brings me on to the next subject. The next subject is, right, it'll probably be the last time I mention something like this, but basically the next subject is homosexuality. Yes, I have mentioned it a few times in my video, because guess what? It's out there, you know. It could be out there on my mum's side of the family, and it could be out there on my dad's side of the family. The reality is, I don't know. However, I'm not on the internet to be bashing them. Okay? I'm not on the internet to be persecuting them. I'm not on the internet to be inciting homophobic, you know, attacks, or, you know, I'm not here to kind of incite that kind of hatred on homosexual people. You know, that's not what I'm about. I have mentioned it because it is out there, you know, and it's definitely out there. If it's not in my family, then it's out there in somebody else's family or somebody else's family. So pretending like it's not there isn't going to, you know what I mean, they're not going to suddenly vanish. That they are there, unfortunately. I'm not on here to be inciting racial hatred, or hatred of any kind, homophobia. Does that suddenly mean that I'm a homosexual? No, it doesn't. You know, does that suddenly mean that I'm bisexual? No, it doesn't. Have I ever mentioned that I was bisexual in any of my videos? Have I ever mentioned that I was gay in any of my videos? You know, there's a lot to say, but it's all jumbled up, so I'm going to try and get with it. I did say at one stage in one of my videos, I can't remember what it is, I think it was in one of the positives, I think smile videos, the power of a smile, that naturally as human beings we are attracted to, for if you're a male, basically, you would be men may be attracted to strong, handsome men. Obviously, they're going to be sexually attracted to women, but they would also be attracted to strong, handsome men. Women, same thing. They're going to be sexually attracted to men, but they're also going to be attracted to beautiful looking women as well. This has nothing to do with homosexuality. This is just the law of the land, that generally in life we are attracted to beautiful things. It doesn't mean that you want to have sex with someone. If I go to the gym and people are pumping weights, and there's maybe a little guy that's maybe insecure, not as ripped, and then there's a confident guy that's you know, big, is handsome or whatever. Generally, whether you like to admit it or not, that's just the nature of life. We like to be around more of the popular people or more of the beautiful people. If I'm going into a pet shop to buy a pet, and there's pets there, and there's one that looks really beautiful, I'm most likely to take that beautiful pet home. See what I'm trying to say? It's not, so when I was saying to women, because that's what I was saying it to at the time, don't be fooled how someone looks. When I was saying to you, I've been around very attractive men and women, it doesn't mean that I was saying that I wanted to have sex with those men. Click on, please, people, yeah? What I was saying is that naturally in life, the more good looking you are, the more chances you start of A, of success, and B, of charming someone. It's called charisma, guys. Yeah, it's called charisma. Yeah, if you're more attractive, you can use if you know what charisma is, you can use charm to your advantage. But naturally in life, as human beings, that's what we do. It has nothing to do with being homosexual. For example, I can openly tell you that with Michael Jackson, I can say Michael Jackson was a handsome guy. It doesn't mean that I want to have sex with Michael Jackson. Okay, let me just clear those things up. What else is there? Right, do I think there's any good black men out there? Of course there's good black men out there. I'm not gonna tackle that subject. I'll leave that for the MGTOW video, because the MGTOW video is coming. It's coming soon. And the difference between me and many other men that are afraid to say certain things, I will say it, and I don't mind taking a bit of slack or flack, whatever you want to call it. I don't mind taking that, I'll be honest. I'll be the voice, you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes people are scared to say certain things. I'm not. I think that's my mental health is a burden, but it's also a blessing too, because it means that I'm not afraid to say certain things if I feel honest about it. What was another thing? It just came to mind just a minute ago. Right, let me think of other random things that were said. Again, I think before it comes to me, it was a good thing. It was a good discussion that we had. We got to open up about a lot of things, talk about a lot of things, and it was good to see another person's perspective on things. Right, so one of the things is come to another thing is, have I ever said in any of my videos that that women should allow men to pump and dump them? Have I ever said that in any of my videos? Have I ever said in my videos that a woman should go out on a date with a guy, knowing really, because some women do know whether guys just want to use them, they haven't invested enough time into the into the person, all of that. Pay, maybe go 50-50. Maybe they 50-50 with a guy on the drinks and everything else. Allow a guy to sleep with them and then disappear into the night, never to be seen again. Have I ever kind of advocated that to any women on here? What kind of guy would I see that as? If that was the case, I've never advocated that at all. What I've said is, for example, I've known certain women where all they've done is they've even talked about it. They've told me, listen, I've gone on 7 dates last week or 8 dates last week, and I'm thinking, how can you go on so many dates? It must cost you, And the reality of it is, it hasn't cost these women anything, because these women, what they're doing is they're not paying anything, and half of the guys that go on these dates with, they have no intention of being with these guys or even giving these guys a chance. They could probably tell from the start of the night that this guy just wasn't their type. But yet they're sitting down there and these guys are buying them this expensive dinners, expensive champagne and all those kind of things, and there's no real intention of being with these guys. That's the point that I was making. I don't believe in men using women. I've never advocated that in any of my videos. What I've said is that basically they should come together. They should have respect for each other and come together. One shouldn't be using one. Men shouldn't be using women for sex, and women shouldn't be using men for money. That's the point of what I was trying to say. But I mean, these are good things. They're good things to discuss. And I think there's one more final thing, if I can remember. That pretty much sums up everything from what I can remember anyway. But I will say that, I'm not afraid to say I love my people. I love black people. I love my people. I think I haven't said it in my previous videos, and I think it was right to be brought up yesterday. I do love my people. I'm not, I'm not here to come online and say white people are demons and this and that, and I'm not going to say those kind of things because I don't believe those things are true. I do believe that we're living in a state with black people where it's definitely a lot harder for us. There's definitely a lot of racism that I've experienced and things like that. So I'm not gonna, brush that under the carpet and say I haven't experienced that. I have, you know. But I'm not here to incite racial hatred, and I'm not here to incite homophobia either. Anyway, I hope that clears up a few things, and I'll see you around for another video. Thanks for your time. Peace.